Hey y'all, welcome back to Nichful Thinking. My name is Nichelle Ohshells on all social media, and this is a podcast all about what I be thinking, honey. Hello. Hi, how are ya? If you're watching on YouTube at Ohshells, let me know if you're into the color I'm wearing. I feel like I had this shirt in the closet, and it was one of them ones when I'm like, oh, it's too big. Like, it's a little bit gappy on the ends, like whatever. But this color, I need to find her in other things. Anywho, what's on my mind this week? Mindset is really everything. I don't know if I used this song already, but what I keep hearing is Unwritten by what's that girl name? She'd be like, standing at the blank page before you open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find reaching. Like, excuse me, something in the distance. Yes, girl, release your inhibitions. Okay? Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. Honey, that has been on my mind heavy. I've had moments in life where I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, life is doing me dirty. Life is doing me in. And feeling like people be all positive. I'm like, how did you get to this inner positive? Like, I'm like, some people are just born with it. You know, it really gave Maybelline. Like, it just really gave that. And then I remember asking God, I'm like, God, I want to feel joy from the inside out. That was always my goal. My goal was always a feeling. It was always a state of being. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to just be happy here and there. I want to just have like love and joy within me. Okay. And I remember, I want to say around high school, because eighth grade, there was this girl, and she was like a huge bully, whatever. She basically told someone else that was like a chatty catty. This girl cannot keep her mouth closed. And she was like, Nichelle is going to be so whack in high school. Like, don't eat. Why are you her friend? Like, it really gave the girl was trying to like throw dirt on my name low key, while also coaching chatty catty to clout chase. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, she's not gonna give you no clout. You know, it was that. And I remember I talked to my mom about it. I was really upset. I'm extremely sensitive. I feel everything. And when people say things, I take it as what you're saying. Like, I'm being literal a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So whatever. So I'm like, oh my God. I definitely absorbed all of whatever she was talking about. And my mother was like, Nichelle, she said, the moment you start being yourself loudly and boldly without wavering because of what somebody else says, as soon as you figure out what you stand on so you don't fall for everything, you're going to be like a beacon of light. And people are going to, your people, you know what I mean? The butterflies, they're going to come, they're going to be attracted to you. You just got to be the light. And she didn't say it verbatim like that, but that's summarized basically what she said to me. And going into ninth grade, like going into high school, that I needed that chat with my mom. I don't even know if she knows that that was a pivotal conversation for me, because it's not like in that moment I was like, yeah, like I'm the best. Like, yeah, like who cares what anyone says? Like, I still cared about what people said, like whatever. But it started getting my wheels turning. It started getting me thinking a little bit more about, well, what do I stand on? And why does every little thing that anybody says just like I absorb it? Like, it's not even something that I just could roll. People would just be like, roll off your back. I'm like, roll off who back? I am feeling all of it. And I would say high school started my journey into truly understanding how beautiful it is that I have no clue what happens next. All I gotta do is be the beacon of light. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin, honey. Get on that dance floor and do it for you. Okay? Hit that hit that you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build that up within yourself. When people on the island say like big up yourself, it's literally like you need to expand wide, right? That's territory, that's mother nature. That's the inner work. You know, it makes you expand out, you know? And you also need to have a strong relationship with your creator. You have to have unwavering faith. And that, you know how you get there? You get there by learning you. It's such an interesting key. And like, the more you practice the practice of getting close to you, like God will put you in solitude. You will feel the urge. When I say God will put you, I say this with multiple options. It's sometimes God is using other people to put you in solitude. Sometimes it's a pull. It's just like an intuition thing where you're like, I just need to get low. You know, I had a episode called like, I forget what it was, but it was about getting low. Okay. And it's one of those things like, in the solitude is where you will be forced to sit in the uncomfortability of the unknown and forced to siphon through what is yours and what's not yours. What do I stand on? Who am I? Woo! I talked about in the earlier episodes about a conference that I went to in 2019, I want to say. I know it was right before the pandemic hit or somewhere around there. And that's where I really started like my journaling journey. If you're also watching on YouTube, don't mind this. I literally had to peel off every other finger. And if you're listening, that probably sounds crazy, but I just felt like I want to keep the pinky. It felt fetch. Anyway, so yeah, I just feel like it's one of those things like when you start picking up different tools, when you start like, did you ask? That's the title of this episode. But did you ask? I had a director with my first job ever. Shout out to Eric. Like, he's the best. Eric Santos, shout out to you, yo. And I almost said graduating. Sure, I'm gonna use that word. I was graduating into a new like position basically where I was doing what I was doing before, but I was also doing sales. And I would be on the phones. I'd be like, they didn't answer. Like, I don't think they like it, or I don't think, or I don't believe, or I don't know. And it was a lot of I don't know and I don't thinks. And he would be like, but did you ask? What? Wait. I was like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, that was such a pivotal moment for me too, because that was the first time where I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe I'm not the person who is like telling people what I need. You know, like I am building that muscle up currently, literally, like trying my best not to already give myself the answer. Like, did you ask? You know, that came back around this year for me. And I just heard Eric's voice, like, but did you ask though? Like, but did you ask? Like, you're telling me you think they don't need, but they never said that. So yeah, I feel like the more I use my voice, the more my voice changes in the beautifulest way possible. I remember listening back on the episode and I'm like, I sound mad, like convicted. I sound OD serious about what I'm saying. I sound mad passionate and I love hearing my voice now. Before it was like, oh, I hate hearing my voice. I'm like, who said that? That was not real. I never not liked my voice. I don't know why I cosplayed that or why I picked that up. Like, and I was believing it. It's so silly. Mind over matter. Standing at a blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. So you got to get low. I don't know how to, I don't know. Let's get that I don't know spirit up out of here. Because I don't know when it comes to you, you got to be the one that knows. Hopefully this is not like a wild tangent, and I probably won't even edit any of this because this is just straight out the dome. It's Nichful Thinking. You heard? That was like a reminder for me too, so that I didn't feel uncomfortable in the moment. But anyway, back on track. You gotta know. You gotta know. Step one, I need to know who I am. Step two, what do I stand for? Step three, what happens when what I stand for gets disrupted? Let's figure all of that out. Then we could start moving things and start investing in, investing our energy in things outside of ourselves. But first, you need to fill up. You got to fill up with the knowledge of you. I think about it this way. I posted a TikTok or a video. I forget where I had it, girl. I was just feeling very, very enlightened and under the moon. Like it was very much so like everything's clicking, like my brain chemistry. Like I just turned 30, so you already know I went through a full transition once my frontal lobe developed all the way. I'm like, oh, this is who I am. This is my superpower, and this is what's going on. But luckily, I'm a lifelong student, and I'm super, super passionate about understanding the core of things. That's another episode. Let me put a pin in that because that topic, getting to the core of things. Oh, there's so much power in that. We'll get there. But yeah, like you literally need to understand who you are, and only you can tell you that first, right? strengthen your sense of self so that when you come into contact with people that are supposed to be in community with you, you're vibrating at the same level. Once you start developing more internally, God is cool about bringing people around that will force you to enforce the boundaries that you set, right? Give you like it's like being in the gym. He'll be like, all right, a little bit more weight, let's just see if you could push this, let's see if you give up here, or if you're able, like, living on your edge. That's something that a couple says a lot, Isi Mei and Josh. They are so cute. I think they live in Chicago. Like, they're so great. But they talk about a lot, like, they like to live on the edge, or when they're having conversations, it's like, are you speaking from your edge? I don't know how they say it, but it's the premise of, like, don't lie to yourself. You need to get real close to where you at and be like, define what it is. The more I don't know, the more, okay, but nothing's on the page in front of me. Okay, but it's raining outside. Okay, but all of these excuses about why you don't know nothing and you confused, and we got to get that confusion about the way. Okay. And I feel really passionate speaking about this because it took a good decade for me to unravel things and for me to bake in new concepts. It takes practice. We're going to talk about practice in probably every episode. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there, give a little bit of energy around self-development and understanding, like, release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. You got options, and it's mind over matter. It's all about your perspective, right? There was a video I came across, and the guy was talking about two different salesmen, and one salesman, it's raining outside. One salesman's like, oh man, I'm not gonna get no sales. Like, it's raining. Like, this is so butt. Like, I'm not about to be driving in this rain. Like, da da da, like, complaining about it, right? Glass half full salesman was like, oh, it's lit. Everybody's about to be home because it's raining. I'm about to knock on everybody's door, and I'm definitely walking home with some chicken. Like, it's a mindset situation. If you're going to walk by what you see and let your human side corrupt what could be the blessing, or are you going to walk by what you know with clarity and look for the opportunities, look for them blessings? Some of them be hitting you right in the face, and because of your mindset, you not recognizing it for what it is. Okay? God don't make mistakes, friend. He don't make mistakes. And the closer you are to yourself and understanding what fires you up, what gets your cells jumping, what rest looks like for you, when you need to rest, how you need to rest, that's all, like, that's self-exploration. That take a little bit of energy. So you have to be very clear about where you're spending your energy. There are things in our lives that we must do, right? Quote unquote, must do. We got to pay bills. Okay. We got to have at least one person we could, like, speak to, just because, like, there's certain human things that we need to literally survive. Everything on top of that is extra. So whatever that extra is, we need to start being busy, quote unquote. Oh yeah, girl. No, y'all not gonna see me for probably 2 months, girl. I'm busy, girl. I picked up another part-time over there about what's it called? You in the house crying on your knees before you watch Love Island and making sure that you wrote in your journal, because everything counts. You are praying to God that you have internal joy and that you get clarity about who you are so that you can meet him. He is sitting there in front of your face like, you ready? All right, she's not ready. I'm going to give her some time to meet me. Like, you got to vibrate higher in order to be in tune with the higher you. And we don't need, listen, saints. A saint is just a sinner that got up again. I'm a sinner that got up again and again and again and again. And it sounds exhausting until it starts being like fun is what comes to mind. Life is extremely serious, but it's also, like, not that deep. I don't know how to explain it. And I'm talking in a general term, right? There are people who are on this planet dealing with the literal devil face to face. There are children getting snatched up out of schools. The enemy is afoot all around, okay? There are people who are so soulless, that have spiraled down so far, that has such a corrupted spirit, that the idea of anybody trying to shine a light on anything is enough for them to do what they do. You can't You can't argue with crazy, and you can't just switch, a light on and your life be different. Okay? So when life hands you lemons, if you must take them, make lemonade. But just know there's an option to not take the lemon. Hello? We got to figure out, like Zelda. I used to play Zelda back in the day on the GameCube. Hey, I don't know if it was Zelda, another kind of game like that, but they would be different tools in my little package. I could do the invisible cloak. You just never hear from me ever again. I'm a ghost. I could do the sling sword. Sometimes it's an axe. Hello? Sometimes you gotta flip a table, make a commotion, and get up out of there. Sometimes you just quote unquote busy. Hello? You need to be fired up about your salvation, and that looks like getting super close to you, authenticity, so that you could be super close to him, God, and you could get real expanded with the help of Mother Nature nurturing your spirit and your body here on earth. We need to make sure we doing holistic thought patterns and rewiring the way we thinking, and this is a collective we that I'm using. Okay, it's in your nature, it's in human nature to think, well, I don't know, well, maybe, well, what if, and I'm scared, and this, and that's why I be giggling so much, because it's like, people are like, oh, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Literally. So let's laugh. Cry, but let's laugh, right? Let's release however we need to release. I don't even know where we're going with this, but hopefully you caught something in there. Hopefully you caught something in there. Thank you guys so much for listening, for rocking out with your girl. I'm watching them stats. I'm seeing where y'all located, and I'm seeing how, which episodes we really like. So maybe in the future we'll do some part twos and da. But I'm doing market research, baby. Make sure you follow me at Nichful Thinking _ and at Ohshells. Ohshells.com has all the links for all the things. Support me. Help me, help you, help me, help you. You know what I mean? When you give me energy, I'm able to give it back in a different way. Jelly bean. All right. Love you, mean it. Bye.